Thank you for all coming here today. We're very excited to be able to dedicate this wonderful space to Nancy and Jerry. My name is Amanda Allen, and I was one of the chair people that helped to get this ball rolling. And the first thing that we're going to do today is have a little video that was sent to us from a student who was not able to be here today. So take it away, Jimmy.
Hi everyone, my name is Tracy Chimo-Polero. I graduated from Saugus High School in 1997. And I am so grateful that I'm able to make a little video for this great dedication that you guys are doing for both Nancy and Jerry Mitchell. I'm so excited for both of their families. This must be quite an honor that they're getting the auditorium dedicated to them, which is quite fitting, I think, for both of those wonderful people. I do want to show you guys this. You probably don't remember what this is, unless you're Alicia Gattosi or Jay Gould or Greg DeCandia. This is our little memorabilia, I guess. It was a sort of an award, right? Mr. Rosser had these made for us when we won the Massachusetts Drama Guild competition for Stinky Cheese Man, which was one of the best plays that I did at Saugus High School. And I joined the drama club, I think, late my freshman year. And the thing that I loved most about performing in that auditorium were the people and getting to be around such a great community. And that's what I love the most about theater. I'm so proud that I fell in love with the stage and acting in general at Saugus High School, and that really was a result of all of the folks that I got to surround myself with when I was there. Since then, I graduated in '97 and then went to Salem State College, and then graduated from there in 4 years and moved right to New York. And I've been here for 18 years. I'm happy to say that after a long process of not working and plugging away and pounding the pavement and banging down doors, I have done 4 Broadway shows, and I've originated roles off-Broadway at the Roundabout Theater Company and Playwrights Horizons, and it's just been an incredible experience for me to be here and pursue my dreams. And one of the first people who taught me that was even remotely possible was Nan, and I'm so grateful to her and to everyone over at the Saugus High School Drama Club for giving me the courage to go and pursue something that would ultimately make me really happy. I'm on Madam Secretary now, which is on CBS. I play Nina Cummings. I'm also on Orange is the New Black. I play Neri Feldman. And the other day I was on set of Madam Secretary, and I was telling everybody that this was happening, and they just thought it was so cool. And Taya Leone said to say hi. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful celebration. I so wish I could have been there with you, and but I am with you in spirit, and I love you. Congratulations to Nan and all of her family, and the Jerry Mitchell family as well. Bye, guys.
So we would like to say thank you to Tracy for that wonderful video. Now I would like to introduce Bernie Sacco to do the dedication for Nancy Lemoine.
Thank you, Amanda. This is truly, I've been joking around all day and we're having a lot of fun, but this part is very important to me, and I'm honored that I was asked to do it. I, by the way, just spoke to Tracy the other day, and she really wished she could be here, but they have just started filming Madam Secretary, the new season, so it's great. It's great to have someone like that coming from here. I want to say a few words about Nan. First, the last words to a wonderful Lerner and Lowe musical are, "Don't let it be forgot that once there was a spot for one brief shining moment that was known as Camelot." For one brief shining moment. That's what I think of when I'm in this wonderful space, full of magical memories. I think of the very short time that I was honored to work with Nancy Lemoine, one of the artists that we are honoring here today. Nancy brought the golden age of performing arts here to Saugus High. Nan is what everyone, including her students, respectively called her Nan. Nan had a love for the theater and music, but she had a great passion for teaching and for her kids. Part of the time I worked with Nancy was when I was the drama coach at the middle school. Directing at the middle school was probably one of the happiest times in my life. When I decided to do a musical there, not being a musician myself, Nancy automatically volunteered to be my musical director. At the middle school, I tried to plant the seed of theater in my students, both on and behind stage. When these same students came up here to the high school, Nancy cultivated that seed I had planted and let it blossom into a beautiful talent or skill. Nancy instilled in her students so many lifelong qualities: leadership skills, respect for themselves and others, loyalty, coping skills, working with others even if you didn't particularly like them, handling disappointment, searching for different ways of looking at a problem and to persevere until a solution was found. And she educated them about making choices and dealing with the situation if the choice didn't end the way it was intended. So many life lessons. Nan was not only a great teacher, coach, and director. She was a great mentor and counselor. Nan was always thinking of her kids. If she noticed someone with a personal problem, she would be there for support, both in and out of school. She was one of these special educators who recognized all types of diversity among her students, which created a wonderful, inclusive environment, sometimes way ahead of the times. These skills and qualities Nancy instilled are part of the reason why so many of her students today are in classrooms all over the country, from elementary school right up to the university level, teaching and coaching drama and theater arts. One of her students, who is here today performing, Lemoine-Mitchell, for example, has been teaching drama in the Everett school system for 7 years. Another of her students, Greg DeCandia, is now the head of the drama department at University of Oklahoma. Several are professional lighting and sound technicians, including Jimmy Wadaka, who is controlling all of the media for this show today. There are independent filmmakers such as Jay Gould, who will be entertaining us today with his wonderful voice. Also, Nan put her mark on professional Broadway, movie, and television actors. We just saw Tracy, and she told her about her experiences here and how she got to where she is. Nancy was courageous and ahead of her time. If she thought a particular show would work for the drama club and the community, She fought to work out of the box and get it produced. She never was afraid of a challenge. I remember two incidents in particular. When she wanted to do two shows that were deemed inappropriate for high school students by some school committee members and administration. Nancy fought for these projects because she knew the content would push the kids to their limits and open their eyes and minds to various aspects of the world. One of these shows was Equus and the other Chicago, which have both become iconic in the American theater, by the way. Nancy won both those particular battles, and both productions were great successes here. And soon after, high schools everywhere were producing these shows. Nancy was one of the most talented people I've ever met. She was an amazing actress, musician, and boy, could she belt out a tune. Of course, theater is only a part of her story. Nancy also created two a cappella groups here, a male group and a female one. She created an improv company, which she ran during the summer, pro bono. And of course, she was the director of the magnificent show choir. One of the most memorable performances of the choir took place when Nancy and Amanda Twaddle, the talented show band director, did a combined concert. It was the first time that the show band and the chorus ever performed together. When the two groups played and sang together, it was something that could have been performed on the stage of Symphony Hall. Nancy did mentoring and teaching other than here at the high school. As I said, she was a wonderful actress and musician. I first met Nan at the theater company of Saugus. I was in the first show that she directed for the company. She was right out of the University of Massachusetts, Boston. I myself minored in theater at Northeastern and went on to the Emerson Graduate Theater Program and took many classes at Lyric Stage and the American Repertory Company. But working with Nancy, both at the theater company of Saugus and here, I really learned more about acting and directing than I did at any of those institutions. Many other adults here in Saugus and surrounding communities were lucky enough to work and be inspired by Nan. So many people in the performing arts in general are today in a better place because of Nancy Lemoine. Nancy, you truly were the wind beneath our wings. Now, I would like to call two of Nancy's family members up, Heather and Karen Lemoine, to help with the presentation of the plaque. The plaque is inscribed, Nancy Lemoine, a lifelong teacher and resident of Saugus, was a beloved educator in the Saugus Public Schools. By the way, this is what is engraved on the plaque. From 1987 to 2013. She was a graduate of Saugus High School, class of 1975. She served as drama director and choral director at Saugus High School from 1995 to 1997. She also served simultaneously as the drama coach and choral director at the Belmonte Middle School. That was before I started there. She developed and supervised several student groups, including the show choir, vocal quartets, and a very successful student improvisation troupe called the needs improvement. Nancy's greatest joy was seeing her students grow into the people she knew that could be. Through their love of theater and music, her enthusiasm for life continues to inspire us and is treasured legacy for the students of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bernie. That was beautiful. Next, I would like to introduce John Massero to do the dedication for Jerry. Thank you. Oh. Just kidding, there's a video first.
My name is Ron Parsons, and I'm a member of the class of 1976. I'm also an alumni of the Saugus High School Band. In my senior year, I was fortunate enough to be drum major of the band as we went to Walt Disney World in Florida to perform on Main Street, USA for our nation's bicentennial. I have many fond memories of my time in the high school band and working with Mr. Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell taught us many things. As one of Mr. Mitchell's band kids, there were many valuable lessons that he instilled in us. First, Mr. Mitchell taught us to commit to something, to work hard, to be responsible, and above all, take pride in your work. Back then, we rehearsed on Monday and Wednesday evenings. If we happened to have a part-time job and be scheduled to work on a Monday or a Wednesday evening, you could be sure that Mr. Mitchell would call our boss and ask them not to schedule any band kids on Monday and Wednesday nights, as that was rehearsal night. There was a local driving school in town down in Saugus Center, and normally driving classes were Monday and Wednesday nights. Mr. Mitchell called the driving school and arranged for them to run a special class for band kids on Tuesdays and Thursday nights so we wouldn't miss rehearsal. Mr. Mitchell was relentless in helping us to learn to pursue excellence. And for those lessons, I am truly grateful. He taught us that it was fun to work hard to be good. I learned how to plan and travel as a large group. We were fortunate in our high school band to have several band trips, and for every band trip, Mr. Mitchell would put together a very thick trip packet that explained every detail that we were responsible for on a trip. Everyone had a job, and everyone did their job. And as a result, our band trips were always very successful. I didn't realize at the time, but my time in the high school band actually set the trajectory for my own career. For the past 33 years, I have been fortunate to be the band director of the Danvers High School Band program. Our motto is a tradition of excellence. And our band program, like Mr. Mitchell's, has traveled extensively. We've been to 3 Tournament of Roses parades in Pasadena, California, 2 anniversary performances at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii, and multiple performances in Walt Disney World, Florida, and Disneyland in California. I learned to be organized and a meticulous planner from Mr. Mitchell. I see evidence of the lessons I learned from Mr. Mitchell in many things that I do in my own career. And I do believe that it's those lessons that I learned from him that have helped me to be successful in my career. Mr. Mitchell impacted many lives. Many of us went on to have professional music careers. Mr. Mitchell left us and the town of Saugus a legacy that will continue to manifest itself for many generations to come.
Good morning. Boy, it's good to be home. You know, I walked in today and it was kind of a weird feeling coming back to Saugus High School because it brings a lot of memories. But when you walk into this space, it brings all the memories back. It brings the memories back of music, the days of rehearsals with Jerry. It brings back the memories of Nancy. It brings back so much that it actually, for a second there, I had to just kind of take a deep breath because it's a great place for those of you who all had that moment to share. Ron Parsons said it well. When you were a student of a high school marching band, you didn't even know what Monday or Wednesday night looked like, other than the band room. He talked a lot about the things that Mr. Mitchell stated and did for us, and it was so true. I know that for myself, currently, I look back at those days and realize the impact that he had on my life. Currently, I'm a superintendent of schools at Stoneham Public Schools. I had the privilege of being a teacher here at Saugus High School. I had the privilege of being a principal in Saugus and then went on to Revere to be a principal, and then in Winthrop be a superintendent. And now over there. But all of the detailed work and all of the stuff that I've ever done, whether it's a building project or whatever happens, comes from the man of Jerry Mitchell on all of the details that he trained us when we were students. My class of '81, along with class of '76, also had the privilege under the direction of Jerry Mitchell to march down Disney World, USA. When you think about it now, people go to Disney World all the time, but go back to 1976 and think of what he did to get our name of Saugus High School on the map. It was truly, truly special what Jerry Mitchell did on that. The other thing about being in the band, when Jerry got one of your family members, he got all of them. That was how he recruited. And not only did he get your siblings, he got your parents. In my family, my brother was Michael, who's sitting here today, class of '76. He was a violinist at the old Central Elementary School. Jerry looked at him later and said, "You know what, you'd be a great tuba player." And he became a tuba player. Me, I became a saxophone player, not a good one. But Jerry didn't care. He wanted me in that band. And my younger brother became a trumpet player, which we all know was very special if you were a trumpet player. Also, though, you had your work cut out because Jerry was the trumpet player. And then my sister, she was in the Sachemere Squad, Flag Squad. My father and mother were part of the band parents, and my father was probably the band parent president when they went to Saugus meets Saugus back in 1986. So those were great, great times. And one of the things that I'll never forget Mr. Mitchell saying to me years later was, band parents are a great organization, but you have to tell them what you want for your organization, not let them control what they think is best. And you know what? Those words ring loud and clear in my mind as I go forward in my job, because we need to direct folks of what is in the best interest for kids. And that's what he always did. Regardless of how he would be, and regardless of how sometimes he would be a fanatic and a perfectionist, he always wanted to make sure that he brought out the best in us. So my personal relationship with Mr. Mitchell goes back quite a ways. In 1981, I was selected to be the drum major of the band. And when you're the drum major, for those of you who are out here in this audience who were drum major, you know how special that relationship is. He treated you more as an adult because he knew he needed you to lead. And then years later, I worked with him as a person who helped with the marching bands through the late 80s and early 90s. And I remember back in 1987, I was fortunate enough, and I was a kid, 23 years old, and got elected to the Saugus School Committee. I had no clue what I was doing. But hey, what the heck, if I could get on there and push for the arts, I was going to do it. And I remember Jerry Mitchell looking at me going, does this mean you're my boss now? It did feel good to hear him say that. But you also know that even if it was true, it wasn't true. He was the boss, and he always remained the boss. We heard a lot of stories when you were in the band. Every story about his military background and World War II and all of those things that he did. And he would tell them like it was yesterday. It was like he was right there. We knew, so my brother was fortunate enough to be in the class with Michelle. I knew Michelle and Ellie through his stories. He would tell his stories all the time. But Jerry was passionate, he was committed, and he wanted to make sure that his kids were. What I'd like to do right now is just read a little information about his life and what he did, because I could talk forever about his impact on me, as you all would know. He was known by his students, faculty, and community as Mr. Mitchell. His well-orchestrated music program touched many lives during his distinguished 42-year career for the town of Saugus, Massachusetts. 1949 to 1983. 93. Beginning in August of 1949, Jerome Mitchell started in his first year for the Saugus Public Schools as music director with a band of 25 students. As the years unfolded, it was evidence the program transformed to one of the most acknowledged music programs in Massachusetts. Student participation was highly engaged, as by Mr. Mitchell provided variety of music activities that students could choose from: high school band, junior band, jazz, orchestra, including the squads of twirlers, batons, sachemiers, color guard. The program encompassed hundreds of students from elementary to high school, including after-school and weekend activities. And we all knew that Saturdays was gone during football season. We did look forward to those times we would walk over to Burger King or the old sub-villa in between. Mr. Mitchell's students learned all genres of music, from rock to symphony band, as well as the art of performance. He brought his students and audience to a new geographic and culture. The students, whether performing a solo, being a squad leader, first chair musician, choir master, twirling a baton, dancing, or flag procession, all had a sense of purpose and belonging which would enrich these lives. This was Mr. Mitchell's core teaching. Bernie Sacco said it well about Nancy Lemoine. Jerry Mitchell did inclusion before that as well. The music exchange program, which Mr. Mitchell orchestrated, began as an opportunity for students to visit other school music students to play and sing together. The strong interest and popularity of the program was so notarized that it transcended to the annual band ambassador trip program, in which the music bands and squads participated in school year after year with travels across the United States. The itineraries always included visits to schools, historic sites from DC to California. The band trips were a memorable time to learn, make new friends, and develop new life experiences through music. Mr. Mitchell did instill the thrill of marching band competition, participating in such noted venues as Disney on Parade, Virginia Azalea Festival, Niagara Falls Competition of Bands, Fenway Park, Giant Stadium, New York State Fair, Expo 67, and the annual Massachusetts State House Room of Flags. With their ongoing busy schedule, Mr. Mitchell always dedicated his students to the town of Saugus by their ever presence at Saugus football games, hometown parades, annual holidays, and spring pop concerts. The sense of family and parent involvement was ever present as Mr. Mitchell continuously worked closely with the Band Parents Association to support students and families in their pursuit of music education. As a citizen of Saugus, 65 years resident, military veteran, and Saugus parent, and by the way, I don't know how Fran did it all those years, but Fran Mitchell, his wife, was a saint. His voluntary work as Saugus co-chair of the Saugus 350th anniversary, and can you believe it, in 10 years we'll be opening up that time capsule, developed annual free concerts in the park at the historic Ironworks, participating in town meetings, commencements, dedications, and continuous alumni band events. You could count on seeing Mr. Mitchell nights and weekends giving music lessons, organizing uniforms, writing music, marching alongside the band, performing drills, playing with the band, and cleaning the band room. His tireless effort, pride in the work accomplished, and determined provided the consistent support to sustain a performing music program for all. Overall, Mr. Mitchell's gift to the town of Saugus was his overall dedication to students and their families to simply make lives better with music. However, overall, his gift to his students was to empower his students to be passionate, committed, organized, and be a leader. I'm confident that Jerome Mitchell made an impact and difference in so many student lives. I know he did for me. Thank you. At this time, I would like to invite his daughters and family up, Michelle Mitchell and Ellie, to come on up in regards to the plaque, and I'm going to take a moment to read it. Jerome J. Mitchell. Jerome Mitchell touched many lives as an exceptional music educator for the town of Saugus from 1949 to 1943. After serving as leader of the 100th Division Infantry Band that toured Europe, entertaining troops during World War II, he graduated from Boston University. Jerry was named director of the Saugus High School Band, which evolved into director of music education for the Saugus Public School System. Mr. Mitchell developed many musical groups and squads in which the curriculums resulted in students who were inspired to achieve. They shared their talents and music culture and confidence in performances and parades across the USA and Canada in the music exchange program. He believed in his students, which enabled them to believe in themselves. Mr. Mitchell's passion for music and teaching is an ongoing legacy to share. Thank you all.
Can I invite everybody that, the committee that made this all possible to come up to take pictures with the plaques, please? Both the Lemoine-Mitchell Performing Arts Council, please come up to the front of the room, please.
On behalf of Michelle and I, we want to thank everyone that was involved in this special occasion. It's a very emotional day, I'm sure, for both our families, the Lemoines as well as ours. We'd like to thank Ted Briley who has been a stalwart of a supporter for my father for 25 years. Ted, thank you. They're beautiful. They're glass. We would also like to thank Kathy Kajal for all of her support, unwavering, beautiful jobs on the plaques. Thank you very much, Kathy. And last but not least, Laurie Golan. Thank you very much for all of your support, all of your help. Lovely. Thank you, thank you. Mwah. Yeah, beautiful. Everything is beautiful. The videos are beautiful. The plaques are exemplary. We just love them. Thank you. Thank you.